This is
Eric and Gord. What if we're right?
Live right now.
Are you ready?
Find and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
I call 80 times.
Yeah, sorry. Forgot something in the car, so I had to quickly run out to grab it.
I forgot to smoke today. I didn't realize till after work. I was like, I forgot to smoke all fucking day. I think I'm almost ready to quit that shit.
Apparently, fuck.
Well, I'm doing about a pack a week.
Well, that's a good drop.
So, yeah, and then today I was just like, wait a minute, I didn't fucking smoke. I really needed one after work. I was like, why do I need one so bad? Oh, fuck, I haven't had one yet. So that's good news, I guess.
Yeah, chop that up to top news. That's a good thing.
With the COVID and all, I'm worried about my lungs. Apparently, my buddy at work knows a guy now who had it, and now is complaining of his lung condition. And doctors have told him it'll be 7 to 10 years before he's back to normal.
Well, shit, eh?
Doctors told me I'd never walk again, too, when I broke my back. So, that's cool.
Doctors, what do they really know?
Yeah, I was in a wheelchair forever. Get used to it. Here's all the good, like, psychiatrists who could help you through the trauma of now being in a wheelchair forever. Yeah, forever turned out to be 9 weeks. So, shut up. Thank God. I was miserable.
It's a horrible fucking 9 weeks.
Oh, yeah, it was the worst. And I was no good in my fucking chair either. I couldn't get the hang of it. So I was like, couldn't go anywhere. Stuck in my not wheelchair accessible apartment on fucking 3rd, like Maine and North Van. What else? Yeah, so he knows a guy who had it. That's cool. Said he's fine. He was fine. He was like fine in 5 days, but now he's permanently damaged forever.
Yeah, I just don't know about that.
I will know tomorrow. I will talk to the expert.
Good. We need something a little more tangible.
A little bit. I figure the way Manitoba's dealing with it, I lost a girlfriend over it. I figure a nurse in an old folks home in Manitoba, that should be the perfect perspective.
Yeah, that's pretty much has to be.
If he can't clear it up, then fuck, we're fucked. I don't think he can. I don't think anybody can. I got a funny topic for the show, and I got like a whole bunch of shit. This is a big day in the world. What? Everything fucking happened today at some point in history.
Oh, really?
Every cool fucking thing that's ever happened in the world happened on January 4th, apparently.
Oh.
And it's National Spaghetti Day.
Oh, very nice.
I gotta see if I got government money. If I got the government money, I'll call Spaghetti Factory and get me some spaghetti. I have a spaghetti factory like 2 blocks from my house.
I just know the one. There's that one downtown that I know of.
That's the original.
The original.
Yeah. That is the actual original, but they're all over the place now. Adam Carolla was talking about it last night.
That one downtown is haunted.
Yeah, allegedly.
They
say all those buildings are. You did not. You just had too many servers at your table.
Nope. Watched them pour a glass, and then they walked away, and the glass was empty, and a different server was there ready to fill my glass.
And how much weed did you smoke before you went there?
You know better than anybody to never fucking question that.
Way too much. Fuck, minus $80. I'm still minus $80. Where's my government money?
Man, you ain't kidding about today. Holy shit, everything is fucking huge.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I got a funny thing we came up with today though that I want to ask you about. So let's just fucking get going.
Let's do it.
I had like sort of an intro. What was it? Oh fuck, where did I put it? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. The intros are failing lately anyway. Oh, I'm already recording and I can't do the fucking intro because I'm not doing the speaker thing. Hi there. Happy Monday. It is January the 4th of 2021. And I am Eric talking at you from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, where I haven't screwed up the date 2 nights in a row.
That can be frustrating.
That is, I think, a record for me.
I have to assume so.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening, and thank you for telling your friends. I don't know what's going on, but I cannot thank you guys enough. The Captivate numbers, we had like ridiculous numbers last night. I don't remember them. Gord, how are you?
I'm very good. Love the title of last night's episode, by the way.
It's just good advice.
I was laying in bed and it came up and I just started laughing. Jess is like, what? I'm like, the name of the episode. She goes, why is it you always giggle at that? I said, because they're so fucking funny.
It's not just a funny title. It's also a really good advice to take.
Absolutely.
60 downloads today. Like 444 downloads this week. That's not our show. That's 10 of our shows.
Isn't that like
amazing?
All of our episodes?
And that's just this one site. 511 downloads since I hooked us up on this site like less than 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
We're averaging 170 a week. That's like 10 times our numbers. Thank you guys so much. That's really, really very cool. We're up 3,930%.
Wow. That's incredible. Look at us go.
Whoever's listening on Captivate, and hey guys at Captivate, you're dope, obviously.
Yep.
For $20 a month instead of the 60 we're kicking a Spreaker. Not anymore.
Bye, Spreaker.
I think I'm theirs for another month, but that's it. Anyway, that's that. Big day in the world. We'll get to that in a minute. I asked Gord how he's doing. Hey, kids, check out our new website, ericgord.com. There's a little sign-up sheet there where you can subscribe to the show just to say you like us. And if you do, we'll send you a pen and a postcard. And it would really help us out. Look good. Maybe we'll get a sponsor this year. And then we could send you guys cash. We won't, but we could.
Glad you clarified that.
So yeah, it's the new email, mail@ericgord.com, and email us there. Or if you really need to stick something in Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina,
slide a memo over there
at gmail.com. I'm sorry, gperson.com.
gperson.com.
Or G-message. I'm gonna go with e-message for now until they change it to something better. But I'm not email. I can't support that in the 21st century.
Can't we just say do G-Unit? Isn't that just cooler?
G-Unit, that's fine. Yeah, we could go with G-Unit. I can't support anything like mail. It's wrong, and I won't get behind it. I am all woke, no joke this year.
And I think unit is perfect because for those transitioning, identify as having a unit. So
you're either getting a unit or losing a unit. Either way.
Either way.
It works for everybody. That's a good idea. Unit. There we go.
E-unit.
So our new e-unit is mail@ericgord.com. That's ericgord.com, all one word. Or Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina at gunit.com.
There you go.
Unit spelled M-A-I-L.
The classic spelling, yes.
Classic spelling of unit, irregardless of how it's normally spelled.
Irregardless.
So I got a friend at work. Well, we're the only two that work there, so we're kind of just forced to be friends. I don't know that he likes me, and I don't care.
Okay.
We get into some pretty heavy conversations, and today he asked me, "What do you think the next battleground is?" And now, obviously, I think it's going to be Israel.
Oh. Okay.
I think Israel's going to start some shit this year. He thinks China. Something along the South China Sea, which is definitely a possibility. There's a lot of hostility there around Hong Kong and the whatnot.
Well, it'll be Iran.
I thought to myself, what a perfect time for Canada to fucking invade somebody. Number one, that no one would ever see it coming. Like, no one would ever see it coming from Canada. Number
No.
two, no one will believe them when they call. They're like, hey, help, we need help. Canada's invading. Everyone will be like, fuck off. Canada's not invading.
What are they doing? Fucking sending us poutines? We're gonna eat ourselves to death? The fuck out of here!
Right? It's the perfect time. And then, so I started thinking about it, and I decided, Eric and Gord government, we invade Venezuela.
Ooh.
We take it over. We change it to Venaskatoon.
Venaskatoon.
That's going to be the first country that Canada invades and takes over. And we'll send everyone from Quebec there. They now, and we'll make Spanish the third official language. So now everyone has to know 3 for our Venezuelan occupants.
Great.
Or the occupants of Venaskatoon.
I barely have fucking
Canada?
command of the fucking English language.
Yeah, you don't need it. It's fine. You're not ever going to Venaskatoon. That
No.
place is Gerbangly. So that's vote for Eric and Gord, and we will invade Venezuela. That's going to be the big battleground.
Very cool.
The first Canadian invasion in history. It's
That'd
great.
be
It'll do great
amazing.
for our self-esteem. It'd be good for like our patriotism. It'd be spectacular. Sorry, Venezuela. Like, we'll be nice. We're not like, we'll come in with our blue helmets and we probably won't even shoot you. We'll just take over quietly. So don't like be worried. It's not going to be like a war unless you make it one.
I
So
don't
there
think
you go.
at this
That's my
stage
plan.
I don't think there'd be much of a fight back at this stage of the game. Everybody's dying of COVID. So
Everyone's dying of COVID except for in Canada.
do you even need weapons now? Don't you just need to show up without a mask and start coughing?
Well, that's pretty much what I plan on doing. I'm going to go cough in everybody's eye. I'm actually a little bit sniffly today, so that's cool. I hope that turns into something. I hope it does. I'm pissed off now that I haven't had it. Pretty sure I did. But if it wasn't, I'm mad.
That's just funny.
So I said off the top of the show, it is National Spaghetti Day. Hi. Happy National Spaghetti Day, everybody. It's also World Braille Day. I did not see that coming. It's World Hypnotism Day. So all you hypnotists out there.
What do they do? Do they get together in a room and try to hypnotize each other?
I don't know, but it was the second half of my life coaching course was also hypnotism. So that's a big part of that, I guess.
I don't
that's
like
true
it because
that's
I'm susceptible to it, and I don't like that.
I
So I
cannot
avoid it.
I cannot be hypnotized.
I
Only
can.
one person has ever tried, but I've been told it won't work.
I walked into
Kreskin?
a bar. There was a hypnotist at a bar doing bar tricks, and I just happened to walk in there. I was barely paying attention sitting at the bar, and the fucker got me.
Yeah, that happened to my roommate in the one that we went and saw. I think it was Kreskin. Who was the
Oh, the amazing Creston.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Pretty sure it was him. It was right here in Kelowna. Oh yeah, it totally was. I just looked at a picture of him. That's who it was. The amazing Kreskin.
He's good.
He came. Holy, he's old as fuck. He was born in 1935.
Yep.
He came to Kelowna, and he did a show. It was really funny. It was a really entertaining show. But my roommate, very much like you, wasn't paying close attention and got hypnotized, and I didn't.
Huh.
And I went and talked to him, and he said, "Yeah, he said the best show he ever did in his life was on a German military base." He said because they're so in tune to just listen and do exactly as they're told that it was like a cakewalk. But I've always got 85 things on my mind, and none of them are related to whatever I'm talking about. So, it's impossible. My mind is not anywhere where you're going to get it to pay attention to you enough to make it do something it doesn't want to do. I can't even make it do what it doesn't want to do.
I'm just terrified that somebody's going to do that shit to me. And they're going to be like, every time a car horn fucking goes off, you got to quack like a duck or something stupid. I just don't want to do that shit.
If I could, I'd be doing it to you every second day.
I know
If I knew how.
I know.
Every day. And you'd be like, and that would be the start of every podcast. Would be you like, fucking, you got to quit that shit. And I'd be like,
No.
I'd be like, yeah, I totally do. You're right. And then the next day you'd be like, I swear to God, fucking quit it.
Put me under and do it again. So instead of that, I start barking like a dog.
I almost got arrested today. Stop it. Okay, you're right. I will reverse it right now. When I snap my fingers, and then you won't remember. I'll be like, you won't remember any of this. Snap. And then every day it'll be new. And it'll be hilarious to me.
My own version of Groundhog Day. And because I don't listen to the show, I'd never know.
Exactly. And we'll talk about it every day and you'll never get it.
Does that technically make it a victimless crime? If I don't know.
I think it is.
I think that's the definition of that.
You know what else is today that's kind of stupid? It's Magnum P.I.'s birthday. Not Tom Selleck. Magnum P.I. the character. It's his birthday today. And that came up. And I was like,
weird.
That's a stupid thing.
Yeah. That means that one of the episodes they not only mentioned it but celebrated it once.
So happy Hypnotism Day, everybody. There's a lot of things that happened today, and I'm going to talk about them.
Since we're just doing the hypnotism thing, I'd just like to say you may all clap now.
One of my favorite things that didn't happen today but happened this month, the term carjacking was coined.
Oh.
Do you know why the term carjacking was coined? Do you know what it was called before it was carjacking?
Oh, God, no. What?
It was robbery, armed, unauthorized driving of a vehicle. Of an automobile, I'm sorry. Robbery, unarmed, unauthorized driving of an automobile. And that they felt was too much to say, so they changed it to carjacking.
I see. I always thought that I always knew that there had to have been another term. I always thought carjacking was a term used on the street.
They used the acronym RAUDA. RAUDA.
Huh.
Stop! The guy's committing an RAUDA. You mean a carjacking? I don't know what that is. We should invent that.
I just assumed because you know gangsters always talked about jacking this and jacking that, so I just assumed it was picked up as that term.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It was a cop, I think, or a lawyer. It was one or the other.
Probably from fucking South Central Los Angeles.
Pretty funny. There's two more that just blew me away that I got to jump right to. Actually, three that are really interesting.
Cool. On
this day in 2012. January 4th, 2012, the Saudi government in Saudi Arabia banned men from selling women's underwear. So it became illegal for men to sell women's underwear. Now, why this is a big deal is because women weren't allowed to work in stores at the time. You had to be a man to work in a store. So they had to repeal that law and make it so that women could work in stores because they made it illegal for men to sell women's underwear.
Huh.
How fucking crazy and stupid is that? Like, how come nobody said this is stupid?
What I don't get is like, I mean, clearly that law came before the thought of, well, we have to let women work. No, hang on. We can't. Yeah. The thought process is really, you know what? We really have to not have guys selling women's underwear. Well, how are we going to do that? Fuck, we're going to have to let them work.
To let women work. It's so funny that's how it came about, but that's how it came about. That was my first funniest one, and that's the most recent. The second funniest one was in 1955. Way back, 1955. That was the year my mom was born. Disneyland had a display celebrating the invention of the bra. Because it was brand new and it was very exciting. And they called their display the Wizard of Bras. The Wizard of Bras. And I thought that's pretty fucking awesome. Way to go, Disney. That must have been like so racy at the time. They probably didn't even show them.
That's funny.
Wizard of Bras. Thank you, Disney. And one that's not funny, but very interesting to me. On this day in 1790, George Washington gave the very first State of the Union address.
Oh, how about that?
That's kind of neat.
That is kind of neat.
And one that's very important. That's kind of crazy. 1790. That seems like a long time ago.
It was.
Friend of the show, woman very near and dear to my heart, and I think Gord's too. January 4th, 2007, the lovely Mrs. Nancy Pelosi was elected to the House Speaker of Congress. So, congratulations on your
Congratulations.
anniversary, Nancy. You know we love you.
And we know that you've done absolutely nothing since then. Congratulations.
She has stopped some very important legislation from going through.
Exactly.
Definitely not nothing.
You know what else happened in today's history, by the way?
Yeah, what's that?
In 1847, Samuel Colt sold his first revolvers to the U.S. government.
And where is he from again? I don't remember. Colt.
Colt. Where would that be from?
That would be Canadian for you guys who don't know.
Is it actually Canadian? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, Colt is a Canadian brand.
Oh, well, how about that?
That's why Trudeau stopped selling the AR-17 or whatever it is. The AR-15. AR-15. He's like, Colt's not going to sell that anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Colt stopped production on it. But thanks anyway, JT. Thanks for making it sound like you did something. No, they just decided not to make it anymore. And you're like, yeah, Colt's not going to make it anymore.
There's actually, I mean, keep going. In 1996, on this day in 1996, GM announced its first electric car.
I'm still not done with my political ones, but yes, they did. It's also the day Pontiac was introduced.
That's right. That's right.
But just something that's funny because the state of Nancy Pelosi became the first female House Speaker ever on this day, and George Washington gave the first State of the Union address. This was the day that weird television actor Ronald Reagan announced his candidacy for president.
Oh, wow.
And he was just he was a random nobody actor. Like, it was out of fucking left field.
Yeah, he wasn't even a big actor. Like, he wasn't huge.
And it's also the day that Richard Nixon was subpoenaed and the Watergate investigation began. So big fucking day for politics. Huge day. Yeah. There's even more that I haven't even touched on yet. There's more. Way more.
Yeah.
Something that Gord and I both would find fascinating, and I can't find the actual list, but I want to. January 4th, 1936, Billboard releases its first music chart.
Oh, wow, 1936.
The very first Billboard chart. I want to see it. It was probably a bunch of crappy 30s music, but...
I know Pearl Jam didn't hit that list, though.
I would imagine. No, they did hit the top 10 best rock albums of 2020, though.
No, very nice.
With their brand newest one. Ozzy Osbourne did as well. So good on him. Who was number one on the metal charts? Oh my God, it was Body Count with their 2020 release, which I didn't even know existed. So I got to check that out. Very, very cool. We'll get to music in a bit. So many exciting things that happen on National Spaghetti Day. What else do I have? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy, a Russian cosmonaut who was in space. While he was in space, the Soviet Union collapsed. He couldn't come home. Nobody brought him home. He spent 10 months in space.
Wow.
Because they forgot he was up there. And then when he tried to come down, they're like, well, you're not. Like, they wouldn't let him into the country because his Soviet passport wasn't valid anymore. And he's like, yeah, I'm in fucking space.
Kind of out of my control up here.
They took him like weeks to sort it all out. And they go, oh, yeah, he's in space. I guess he could come in.
Does that mean that he was the true inspiration for the movie, that Tom Hanks movie? Was it Arrival or whatever?
Yeah, I guess he could have been. The Terminal.
The Terminal.
No, that actually happened.
Yes, it did.
That story in The Terminal. That's based very loosely on a true story.
Very loosely.
He didn't. The guy in the real movie didn't bang Catherine Zeta-Jones.
No. Damn shame, because that would be fun.
My version, which I don't know where it is, I can't find it. My VHS version of that movie that I made is way funnier. Because I just edited in the Robert Zikansky video right at the end. So the door is open, and Tom Hanks goes walking outside, and then he gets tasered to death by 4 cops. It's fucking hilarious. It's so
good.
Such bad taste because it was right around the same time.
That's
Oh.
fucking funny.
It's awesome. I can't find it. I don't know who has it, but if you have it and you send me an email, gwynethpaltrowsvagina@gmail.com. Gunit.com, spelled MAIL. I would love to see that. It is really, really funny because he's so happy and everyone's clapping.
As soon as he sets foot outside.
Then the 4 cops taser him to death. And it almost looks like, because he steps into like sort of a foyer, and it kind of looks like the room that Robert Zakansky was in. I felt bad because I saw like an interview with his mom a couple weeks later, and then I was like, oh, that's not right.
But how much were you laughing while you were putting that together, though?
Oh, so much. And people thought it was terrible at the time. It was definitely way too soon. It was great.
That's the equivalent of Gilbert Godfrey telling a 9/11 joke. Just
Yeah,
after
yeah.
9/11.
But we cared about Robert Zakansky way more than 9/11.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This day in 1955, the United States government paid out $2 million, which was big money in 55.
Mm-hmm.
They paid that out to victims of the test bombing they did in the Pacific. They hit all kinds of, when they were testing the hydrogen bomb, they were just launching it into the Pacific. They killed a bunch of fishermen. They polluted a bunch of fish, which made a bunch of people sick. And it was for a year, from 1954 to 1955 they did this, and then on January 4th they paid out $2 million to all these victims.
That's funny.
So that's just, come on. And this after World War II. So they, like, what are you testing?
Did they just like to blow shit up? We all know the truth.
First State of the Union. What else do I have? Nancy Pelosi, first woman. Congratulations.
I got a big one for political.
First Billboard chart. Now, here's one that's not funny at all. Rosewood. The Rosewood Massacre happened on this day in 1923. Where an all-black town of 120 people was completely destroyed, burned to the ground by the KKK. And tons of black people slaughtered. One of the worst massacres in U.S. history. It was one of the first and the worst. So, and all by the KKK on an all-black town. So that's pretty fucking disgusting and stupid.
Wow, that's great.
There's still a thing. That's still a thing that exists in the world. So fuck you guys. And come on, America. I defend you guys a lot. The least you could do is get rid of those fuckers.
Trump denounced them.
Oh, no, he didn't.
He was the only group that he denounced.
Well, yeah, his denunciation of them was like me denouncing beer.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say the words? Fine, I'll say the words. Next question.
Yeah, right? I'll say the words. Can you say them? Well, I don't have to
later,
now.
Yeah. 5 days later, he actually said it. What? I didn't say it? Of course I said it.
You didn't say it.
KKK is a terrible organization.
I'm not saying it again. I already said it. I'm not saying it again.
I already didn't say it once. I'm not going to not say it again.
Yeah, right? This was also the day that Nancy Kerrigan, world-loved, adored figure skater, stepped out to talk to reporters and was bludgeoned brutally by Tonya Harding's hitman, who hurt her knee so she couldn't skate.
Why? Why would anybody do this?
Why? Oh, it was the best. You know why? Bryan Adams could tell you why. In the #1 song from that year, Everything I Do It For You.
Oh. Very, very cool.
No,
in 1999,
I hated that song so much, and it was on 24/7. It was worse than goddamn Nickelback.
It's true. That song that was huge internationally for him. That was because that was from that fucking movie.
There's the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Robin Hood. That's right. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Awesome. I will get back to music, but yeah, that song was I will never forget. It was ridiculous, and it's a terrible song.
I gotten laid to that song a few times.
#1 song in 1990, though, was a killer song, also from a movie, Blaze of Glory, from Young Guns 2. And that song still rocks. Sorry, you had one you were going to pipe up in. I got tons of this shit today. So,
in 1999, the Euro made its debut.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. So that's when you had 11 nations that adopted a single currency, the euro.
11 nation army.
And there's now 19 members.
19. Ooh, not for long.
Yeah.
Brexit's
No.
gonna fuck the shit out of that crap.
Yep.
Just the way the Chinese did at Pearl Harbor. US
on this
minimum
day in
wage.
1970, yeah, go ahead.
U.S. minimum wage, and this is 1991. The minimum wage went all the way up to $4.25 an hour.
That's what I got paid when I was 14 years old. My first job, I was getting paid I was getting paid $3.95. Minimum wage was $4.25.
I'll go year over year. We'll do these, and then I'll get because there's some ones in the 90s that you're just gonna love.
1974, President Nixon refuses to hand over the tapes.
Yes, and then he got subpoenaed.
Yes, he did.
And then he handed over the tapes.
And he got
and then he got
for that one
locked up. It was like the Chinese were in his Pearl Harbor.
Yep. 1896, Utah entered the Union.
Well, and on January 5th, 1896, nobody gave a fuck that Utah was in the Union. We'll get to that tomorrow. What else do I got on my list? I went through my list kind of but I got some big songs. But I want to wait and do music. But it's more like the big songs from like the week. It's not just it's like the top 25 biggest songs of this week, not just today, but like the top songs of this week. Or in different years. But we'll get to that in a minute. Macarena was number 2 in 1991.
Fucking song.
No, sorry, 1990. You know what was number 1? Blame It on the Rain. Grammy award-winning song. Took best song at the Grammys, and then was 4 days later was taken away because they lip synced and they were liars. And so that year is the only year that didn't have a best song. They didn't award it to anyone else. So, Milli Vanilli, you fucked the Grammys. I got it. My hat goes off to you for that.
I just love the fact that when the whole thing came out, I just love the fact that like when they had to actually go up, he goes, "Can we just hand this thing back now, please?"
Yeah.
No. You need to stand here and look like idiots for a little bit longer.
How pissed off are those? Well, I guess one of them's dead now, but how pissed are they now that lip syncing is like totally acceptable? Everybody fucking does it.
Fuck, we started that shit.
Give us our Grammy back. It's like they're the fucking Lance Armstrong of singing.
Britney Spears would not have a career if it wasn't for lip syncing.
Lance Armstrong, they proved that like the 21 other top cyclists were just as high as he was.
Yep.
So that means he was still the best because they were all on the same fucking steroids, and he still beat. So all his medals still count technically.
Yep.
Sorry, Millie and Vanilli, you got Lance Armstrong. It's also on this day in history, Pete Rose was banned for gambling. He was banned from the National Baseball Association, and nobody cared. I don't think, especially not Pete Rose. It just seems weird that happened.
People are still fighting today to get him back in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
that his time's been long and served. Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody cared at the time.
No.
He bet against his own team or something. I don't know. That was stupid. I don't even remember what he did. I just know he was gambling.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, he bet against his team and technically threw the game.
Sports gambling is super. I didn't think he had anything to do with the game. He was just for the gambling.
Well, the gambling is what he got charged for, but it was the speculation that he threw the game because he bet against. Therefore, he wouldn't have played his best.
I don't think he was even playing. I don't think he was even playing at the time.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't. Anyway, it was a stupid charge, and so screw that. I thought he was already not a player. Now we got to look up stuff. See what you've done? If we would go live and you guys would phone in, then you could help us with these answers.
No, sorry, he was the manager.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's where that thing came from.
So we didn't throw nothing.
No.
Anyway, there you go.
Hmm.
Oh, I just lost my page.
Okay, I got a quick one here.
Okay.
1964, the Boston Strangler, Albert
right.
DeSalvo,
Yeah.
he raped and strangled to death his last victim.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly about it. So yeah, the woman, whoever the fuck it was,
18th, I believe.
yeah,
I'm not looking at that. I think it was 18. There was another one. Another very famous killer did something today. Got caught today. It was a big day for killers.
Oh, cool.
Not really.
There is also a massive train collision in Pakistan in 1990.
Huge.
Killed between 200 and 300 people and injuring another 700 more.
That's a busy train.
Yeah. And it's still to this day the worst rail accident ever. Yet. So far.
What about, I would argue Lake Megantic was worse. Maybe not as many dead, but
yeah, I think just going by
the whole fucking town off the map.
Yeah, it did.
That's brutal. Like, that town is just not there anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know which was worse, but I guess that is. They're claiming that is.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's fucking neat.
Very cool. Yeah, it is neat. It's not neat. It's terrible. Sorry, Pakistan. That sucks for you guys. And everyone was still calling you Packies back then, too.
That's true. Back then, if you were from any Middle Eastern descent, you were just
you were a Packie.
That's just it.
Yeah, my mom still does that.
Aww.
Still calls everybody Packy. She's like nice about it though. She's like she will define where they're from now. She's like, what are those Packies from Iran? Close enough, Mom. That's the best we're gonna get out of her. She knows that Packies are from different countries. That's progress. That's progress.
That's genius.
We will, when Eric and Gord are prime ministers, we will improve the education a little bit, especially in Venaskatoon. We will get them educated better than the original Saskatooners.
I wonder how the Saskatooners are going to feel about all that.
I've never been to Saskatoon. I've been through Saskatchewan many times. I've never had the pleasure of going north to Saskatoon. I'm going to have to put that on my things to do.
Wasn't that a song?
What, going to Saskatoon?
Yeah, going down to Saskatoon.
I don't know. Nobody. Why would you write a song about that? And unless it was a really sad song, like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to fucking Saskatoon.
I don't know. For some reason, the first time I ever heard it, I was told that it was the Doors because it kind of sounded like the Doors, sort of. I'm like, it sounds like really weird for the Doors. It turns out it was not the Doors at all.
It seems like something he would write, though.
It kind of does, though.
I got so high, I thought I was in Saskatoon. I don't know what a Saskatoon is. I got stuck in the jaw of a moose.
The Guess Who? That's who actually did the song.
Oh, well, of course they did. They're from Winnipeg.
Okay. Running Back to Saskatoon. That's what it's called. Running Back to Saskatoon.
Yeah, I could see a band from Winnipeg doing that.
Yeah.
So whatever, cool. I don't care about the Guess Who. I like BTO.
The BTO was awesome.
Guess Who, not so much. Guess Who? Nobody. Don't care.
Don't care. It means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Man.
That?
So since we've caught on some killer stuff, I just discovered something. I actually had it brought to my attention earlier today, and I had to look it up because I had no idea. I was quite fucking stunned by this. The Zodiac killer. Unknown case in the sense, like, they never found the killer and everything else. They've never been able to decipher his letters.
Yeah.
On December 11th, they deciphered them finally.
Oh.
They finally broke the code, and they figured out what one of his big fucking letters meant.
I wish they'd figure out how to make a decent fucking movie about it, because the one they made was boring as shit.
Considering what you could have done with that movie, yeah, I fully agree. And I would love to be able to tell you what it was, but my computer just fucking froze.
It's a terrible movie.
Damn it.
So Gord's computer's dead. I'm just answering someone on Facebook real quick, and then I'll get right back to chatting with you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh. Fuck. My computer's froze out. This is still working, but this is frozen out. Fuck.
Yeah, this guy just said I'm not allowed to speak. He was commenting on my Facebook rant that's gone on for 3 days, 5 days now. And he said, if you never passed grade 12 science, you aren't allowed to speak. Well, Van Hill, yes, I am allowed to speak. Read the fucking charter. My right and my freedom, I am allowed to speak. So you can fucking blow me. How's that for speaking? I don't say anything mean on Facebook.
Did he ever produce his fucking grades from high school to show that he passed it?
So I'm just going to say, yeah, read the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and then get back to me on that. Bud. Chooch.
Douchebag. Fuck.
Everyone who says I'm not allowed to speak because I don't agree with you, go fuck yourselves. And these people saying, oh, your grandfather died in the war for, yes, so that I don't have to put up with this shit. And I'm allowed to have a different opinion, you fucking freaks. That's why they fought, not so we all could wear masks that the government tells us to wear.
And if your fucking grandfather was standing there at that time coming back and you said that to him, he'd fucking kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm letting you know.
How do you spell chooch? Chooch. There we go. Get back to me on that, chooch. Okay, kids. Charter of Rights and Freedom is a very, very cool charter that we have in this country.
Yes, it is.
And people like Chooch here don't understand that. So, but hey, thanks for writing, Chooch. You're one of 600 people that disagreed with me. And there's like about 5 that did. And they just private messaged me like, we agree with you, but we don't want to start shit. Like, that's cool. That's a way to stand up there. Like, secretly write to me and, hey,
I support you, just not
I support you, but not publicly.
Thanks.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer was captured. That's the one. Jeffrey Dahmer was captured. He had killed and sometimes eaten 17 people.
And sometimes eaten.
Ironically, this was right at the same time that KFC officially, Kentucky Fried Chicken officially changed its name in 1991 to KFC.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to do some fun facts. I'm going to go by year because it's very cool. 1990, I just have the songs written down, which I think is amazing. Some of Gord's favorite hits. Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Nice.
Informer by Snow. Jump by my favorite band, Chris Cross. Jump. Rounding off the top 5 is Waterfalls by TLC. That was fucking massive.
That was huge.
Chasing waterfalls. I actually don't hate that song.
I was never a fan.
Candle in the Wind. Another big one. Elton John's hit about his someone dead. Oh, it's about Princess Diana. That's what it was.
Well, no, because the original one was about Marilyn Monroe, and then he redid a version for Princess Di. The big hit was the one for Marilyn Monroe.
He's not old enough to have done it for Marilyn Monroe, though. So it must not be his song.
Well, yeah, no, it's not that he wrote it at the time. He just did a throwback song about it.
Elvis Presley, the moderately famous singer from the States.
Oh, I heard about him. I think he's
He-
going to go some places.
He recorded his first song. I don't know if it was today, but it was in January of, I want to say, 54.
Oh, wow.
It was the Mama, don't you beg a mama. I forget. Anyway. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't remember. But yeah, he recorded it this month. Not necessarily January 4th, but January. If you were born on January 4th, you were probably conceived on April 13th, just so you know. That's a fun fact for you.
Very interesting.
You know what the biggest movie quote was? It was started in January of 1991. Biggest movie quote of that year. Hello, Clarice.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So that's 91. 91. Biggest sex symbol? Patrick Swayze. And Gerard Depardieu.
Patrick Swayze, he was the man.
For us, it was Elle McPherson. For the ladies, it was Patrick Swayze.
Elle McPherson was for both.
I didn't ever really like her.
I did.
Biggest comedian of the day. The funniest man in the world in 1991. Andrew Dice Clay.
Man, that guy caused controversy, didn't he?
He was the biggest comic of the day. One of the richest stand-up comics of all time. He's very good with money.
You should really follow him on Instagram. His shit that he posts is so fucking funny because it's just his day-to-day stuff.
Someone have told me that.
Oh my god, it's fucking funny.
Some of the movies from 1991 that were released like in and around, like this is all in January, not necessarily today, but in January.
Yeah.
Fried green tomatoes.
Still never seen it.
Boys in the Hood.
Nice.
And City Slickers. Huge
three
movies.
drastically different movies, eh?
But yeah, they used to make different movies. Original movies. Those are three very original movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, very cool.
Wow.
They don't make original movies anymore. You kids, you're missing out. They used to just write scripts. Oh my god. Yeah, anyway, they would write scripts and then that's what movies were based on. They weren't based on old movies.
Yeah.
It was a weird time. Big scandals of this month. 1991, Paul Pee Wee Herman Rubens is caught in an adult theater doing an inappropriate act.
That's so amazing.
I just read that now. That is awesome.
I didn't even at the time, I thought, I don't get it. Why is this a big deal? So he was jerking off in a jerk-off theater. Who cares?
Yeah, well, because he had a kids show at the time, and it's weird.
Was it really a kids show though? I don't know.
If you watch it today, I don't know who that show was for. Like I barely remember it, but I've seen newer ones. Like I've seen it since, and it's just fucked up.
That show freaked me out when I was younger when it came out, man. That show was just weird. I just like my friends were into it, and I don't know, man. That show was just fucking weird.
Super Nintendo. Which I was quoted at the time as saying they will never come out with anything cooler than this. This is the best video games we'll ever get. Actual quote by me.
I don't think you were off.
There's no way they can top Super Nintendo. I couldn't even foresee the N64 in those days. $199.98 was its sale price.
Wow.
That's big money in 91.
Fuck, that's what my parents paid for that. That's crazy.
Never had one.
I did.
I had the original Nintendo 3 years after everybody else did. And I went from that to the PlayStation 1. And I think that was the last system I bought. So 91, I'm going to stick on 91. Big things happened it was a huge world-changing fucking year. Operation Desert Storm started. That was the first Iraq war. You guys don't remember that. I was in grade 7. It was pretty nice.
I remember that. Yep.
That was the first war that was televised ever. Like live TV in real time.
Was it ever? Flipping on the news and just watching the light shows. Fuck, that was a crazy time.
We had never seen anything like it. And looking at those videos now, they're all shitty and like grainy. And we're like, what the hell? Because now they just got the cameras on smart bombs. You could see them go right up the guy's ass before they blow up. But back then, that was like high tech shit. And that was the first time we had like reporters embedded. Like now it's just commonplace. We expect them to be embedded. But at the time, it was fucking crazy. Like, what are you doing? You can't go to a war. You're a reporter.
Now you're not allowed to have a war without a reporter.
And, well, most of them, well, they're just gonna lie and say they were there anyway. So, back to the music. 1989. Oh yeah, so that was there was no best artist. Wind Beneath My Wings. 1990s big Grammy hit.
Oh wow,
Grammys
really?
are always in January, yeah. You are the wind beneath. Brand new artists in the pop world. I love this. Delight. Black Crows. Lenny Kravitz.
Wow.
Vanilla Ice. Wilson Phillips. MC Hammer. And Faith No More.
Oh wow, eh?
Epic came out January 1990.
Fuck, and that is such a good album.
The big one-hit wonders from that year. Faith No More. Sinead O'Connor. Concrete Blonde. And the Macarena. No, that was 91. Sorry.
Concrete Blonde?
Concrete Blonde with the song Joey.
Oh.
1990s big Pump Up the Jam was the big dance hit, followed by You Can't Touch This. And my favorites, NKOTB, put out Step by Step. Gord's favorite came out that year, Digital Underground's Humpty Dance.
Yeah, that's the shit. When I bought that album, I remember just thinking like, oh, it's just gonna be an album full of really funny random stuff. That album, it was on the album called Sex Packet. That whole album was just all about fucking, and it wasn't very quiet about it. Like
you didn't have to be. You know what the
porn.
You know what the biggest rock song was at the time? Unskinny Bop. Guess what that was about?
Poison. Fucking hell.
The unskinny bop 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 will blow you away.
When that album came out, when that song first came out, I remember because at that point, like I was a bit of a Poison fan before that, and I'm always gonna have a soft spot for that band. But it was at that point where I was getting into a little more aggressive, heavier stuff, and I remember like making fun of because the band I was in, the older brothers from two of the members, they had a hair metal style band. But they were right into like to the Warrant and the Poisons. They were all into that style. We were more we weren't. And it was so funny because it was like, oh man, CC DeVille's amazing. I'm like, hey, don't they have a fucking new song that like just came out? He's like, oh man, I already got the single, and he plays it. And listening to it, I'm already probably through a do 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 do. I literally just learned the entire song just like that. Your band is basic. Move away.
Yeah. There was a few crossovers that I allowed into my life, like Queensryche was one.
Oh my god. Silent
Skid Row, obviously.
Love Skid Row.
They were a big crossover for me. I just read an article about them, and I'll Remember You. What a big fucking deal that song was. It was like one of the biggest ballads of all time.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Remember Yesterday. I love that song. I like that album. That was a good makeout album.
It was they released some good stuff.
Side one of the tape. I had like my go-tos were that Skid Row, the first album. Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1. If you can make out for the whole side one of that tape, that was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
And my other one, and I don't care what you guys say because people touched my penis, was Roxette.
Roxette was amazing.
What was the name of the album? Not the one with the look, the one that came out after that. That had like
listen to your heart.
Like what was the big song on that? No, it wasn't Listen to Your Heart. No.
I thought they only had the two big ones.
Joyride.
Yeah, Camel and the
That's
Joyride.
the one.
Well
Come and
done.
join the joyride. Yeah. Side one of that album got your penis touched.
You know, I
I'm not going to explain to you young kids what the sides of the tapes were. That's way too more. It's way over your heads. But
not getting into all that.
it was a thing.
I remember years ago, when I was in that same band, we went and saw Skid Row and Pantera with the Killer Dwarves opening up.
Oh Jesus, that's awesome.
It was an amazing show, and the best thing was the lead singer of our band. He had never been to a concert before in his life, and Skid Row, like Sebastian Bach specifically, was like his idol. He dreamed of being Sebastian Bach, and
I did not. I dreamed of singing like Sebastian Bach. I didn't want to be him. He looked way too much like a girl.
no, he wanted to. He wanted to be Sebastian Bach without a doubt.
Good
What was
looking
funny
man,
was
but he looked
yeah,
like a
good looking
girl.
guy. Yeah, not so much anymore, but
Yeah, he's still got it. He's not as bad as Axel. Go look at Axel.
no,
right now.
Axel's brutal. No, at least Sebastian Bach's still skinny. But what was funny is that when we were at the show, once Skid Row finally came out, Alex lost his shit entirely, and he just started freaking out. So we're in the stadium, and he turned around behind me, and because he just had all this, didn't know what to do with himself, sort of thing. Because we were in the stands, so we weren't like in a pit or anything else, and he just turned around and grabbed the seat behind him and just ripped the seat right off and broke it. And everybody around us ended up causing a near riot, and they destroyed an entire section of seating, all because of started with Alex. And Alex walked out with that seat, for the record.
We did that in our Lady Peace show right here in beautiful downtown Kelowna.
That's awesome.
Where we weren't allowed to have concerts, but they thought it was a religious group because they were called Our Lady Peace, so they allowed it. Tripping Daisy opened for them. It was awesome, and we destroyed. I think Nori Wentworth, famously of Wentworth Music, now 3 stores in the Okanagan, still has part of the seats from the Kelowna Community
awesome.
Theater. Very neat.
Hang on. I just remembered something. The guitarist from Children of Bodom, very well-known and a popular or a well-recognized band for what they did for music and their style. The lead singer and guitarist, Alexi Leaho, died at age 41 earlier today.
Crazy.
So it's very, very sad news. The community is very sad. He was a really, really genuinely nice guy. He's been dealing with some sort of sickness for the last few years, which is why they ended up they disbanded in 2019. That was strictly because of his health. So sad news on that one. So Children of Bodom, phenomenal fucking band. But yeah, poor bastard's dead. So sad news.
Sure.
Look at that. Sorry about that. Had to bring a little bit of sadness to the fucking show there.
I'm not that sad.
I can tell.
Not so much. Sorry. Just not so much.
Yeah, doesn't bother me at all. It's okay. Fuck. So yeah, so that happened.
Yep.
Oh, that's just funny. So you heard about the bomb that went off in Nashville on Christmas Day?
Yeah, three people died of COVID because of it.
Yeah, that's the one. Do you not find it strange? I mean, no. I mean, you don't find it strange. Of course, why would you? Very little news coverage on this for some strange reason.
I know 3 people died, all of COVID, because the bomb went off and they were around it.
Yeah, and the big thing is that, they know who did it, and it's a white guy. And ironically enough, they're not talking about that. And the weirdest thing is they are not calling it homegrown terrorism.
Yeah, no, they won't. That would distract us from COVID. We can't have that right now.
So that's weird. But yeah. So I just thought that was big thing on that one. They're now claiming. I mean, one of the last things I heard, I was trying to look up on this earlier, but my fucking computer froze. But they're now saying that they think that he was some sort of Muslim, part of that or something like that, claiming that he was
Well, that's what they always say.
part of one of the extremist groups or something. It's just gotten stupid. Now apparently if you don't die from COVID, then it's not from a terrorist group. So
Oh, no, they all died of COVID, and we always say it's Muslim. I don't know that he was, and he's a white guy. Anthony Quinn Warner. I'll give his name. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anthony Quinn Warner sent packages that told his viewpoint, so maybe he was. I don't know. He sent out letters to the FBI and shit before he did it. Suicide bomber detonates a recreational vehicle bomb. Yeah, it's always the way.
That's it.
What to know? Girlfriend of the man. Oh, yeah, they talk to a girlfriend. I love when they do that. They always have great things to say. What a shit thing to do. Go to his girlfriend. You know she's just going to talk shit about him. He never took me nowhere. It's Christmas Day, goddammit. He never gave me nothing.
Told me he was going to start
The FBI is investigating if 5G paranoia was behind the bombing.
There you go.
I don't see a Muslim thing here. He may have been killed in the explosion. Oh, you think he might have been? Maybe.
See, and that's kind of one of the funny things. Like I said, it was one of the news reports that first came up, and I'm thinking, what? No, because if that was true, then they would put that all over the news then, if that was true. The news would allow to get out. But yeah, I'm not reading anything about that anymore now.
No, I don't see anything about it. I don't think he is. He is very, very white and paranoid about 5G. That's not very Muslim.
Yeah.
All you retards worried about 5G, go back and listen to our episode called "This Episode is All Gerbangly." I explain 5G and the COVID retarded connection there. 5G doesn't make you sick, people. If it did, 4G would have made you a little bit less sick. That's how it works. It's retarded. And the big COVID outbreaks are in places that don't have 5G anyway. So shut up. It's a stupid thing.
Yes.
And this guy bombed Nashville because of it. Nashville is my favorite city that I've never been to outside of Ashburn, Virginia. Nashville's number 2. I love it, and I've never been there. And now it's been blown up, and that sucks.
Yeah. Very, very sad. Very, very sad.
There was damage was done to an AT&T central office and Nashville's COVID-19 community hotline.
See, that's what I'm surprised. I'm surprised that isn't the leading story.
Who gives a fuck about your COVID-19 hotline when there's bombs going off, you fucking retards?
I just had a bomb go off. COVID? What was that? COVID? What? That's all I heard. COVID. What? COVID?
Yeah. 3 guys died of COVID as soon as that bomb went off, including the bomber. He had COVID. That's why he bombed stuff.
Fucking COVID.
How far is Tennessee from Virginia? Because they got Nashville people in West Virginia. Tennessee must be right by West Virginia. All right. One more reason to go to Ashburn as soon as they open up the goddamn border. I'm going to Ashburn before it's too late. Holy fuck, I'm seeing a picture of it. Jesus Christ. That's a bomb.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it is a big one.
Wow.
It did some damage. Right between 2 buildings, right smack dab in the middle.
I love the headline in CTV. Nashville explosion prompts FBI to search a home. Oh, you think?
Thanks.
I'm just going to throw in throughout the show, I'm going to throw in little fun facts. They have nothing to do with necessarily a year, but they're just fun facts. that I think are fun, and I wrote some down, like the carjacking one. Here's another one. Teflon is the only solid material that geckos can't stick to.
Neat.
That's stupid. I don't know why I care. Like, don't put, like, geckos aren't safe in your pans. Don't cook geckos, I guess, is the thing.
Or you can cook them, and at least they're not going to stick and burn to the bottom.
Here's a fun one. Tic Tacs are actually 95% sugar, but they say that they're 0% sugar because their size is smaller than FDA rules, so they get away with saying they're sugar free because they're so small. The FDA doesn't regulate them, but they're actually 95% sugar. So there you go.
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just like Subway and their bread turning. It's not even bread anymore.
Pretty cool. Way to go, Tic Tac. We lie. Oreo's the top selling cookie in the world. 2 billion in annual sales. That's ridiculous.
Wow. For Oreo. Well, and you know why, though? That's because you can get everything in Oreo now. You can get Kit Kat Oreo. True. You can get everything Oreo. Everything is Oreo. So they have Oreo drinks. I mean, like, Jesus, it's getting a little out of control.
And they're a ripoff of a cookie called Hydrox that was discontinued in 1999.
Yeah.
Hydrox are actually more popular because they're kosher.
Oh, how about that?
I guess
kosher
Oreos
means
are not kosher.
When it's kosher, that means it's been blessed by a
Jewish people can eat it. That's funny. Oh, cool. Here's one, all you crazy Twilight fans. In today's world, vampires would totally see themselves in the mirror because they're backed with aluminum. Old mirrors were backed with silver, which is why vampires couldn't see their reflection because the silver kills them.
Oh.
But now the new mirrors, you'd totally see them because they're not silver anymore. There you go.
Oh. How about that? I have a neat little thing for you.
Go ahead. Neat me away.
In June of 2020, one lucky bidder got to take home a Sir Isaac Newton's Meditations on Causes and Cures for the Common Plague.
Oh, cool.
Now, it's sold for $108,083. It was written shortly after Newton returned to Cambridge after nearly 2 years in self-quarantine to avoid the plague. The great thing is now I'm just going to read this. The document is unlikely to be much use during the current pandemic. However, it includes, among other things, a prescription for driving away disease with lozenges made from a mixture of toad vomit and sure it did. He never.
You know what else happened? You know what's a January 4th thing that just reminded me of? A guy bought a picture frame and for $4, and it had an original copy of the Declaration of Independence in it. He sold it for like $4 million.
Oh my God! Wow.
But he paid $4 for it.
That's awesome. You know that just before I moved up down here wherever the fuck I am. I was watching an episode of fucking Antiques Roadshow, and there's this one dude's like 86 fucking years old. He's got this lamp, and it is a god awful ugly lamp. And he's like, I just want to get this thing appraised, morally just to prove a point. And they said, well, what's the story? He says, my wife has been hanging on to this thing for fucking years. And she says that it's like an original Tiffany lamp. And I'm thinking, nope, this is just an ugly piece of crap. And she refused to ever let me throw it out. I've tried numerous times. She's always rescued it. She passed away earlier this year, and I thought, fuck it, at least I'm going to go and get a price so I can at least prove the point. To go, so what's it worth? Like, well, this is an original Tiffany lamp, and it's worth about $85,000. He's like,
Jesus.
He was pissed. He was so mad. He's like, that sucks. She was right. Fuck. So I thought that was genius.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
We're in the new year, kids. It's January. You know what January is? It's National Oatmeal Month,
Christ.
Human Trafficking Prevention Month, Soup Month, Book Month, National CBD Month, fucking
Oh.
National Blood Donor Month, National Hobby Month. You know what my hobby is? Naming months. National
I know
Soup
12.
Month. It's ridiculous. National Soup Month.
Like,
Why would you have that?
I just want to know, what's the point? Like, who benefits from that aside from what? Soup companies, I guess.
Campbell's,
because that's probably who created it.
named after the Roman god Janus, who is the god of gateways.
Not the god of soup.
No, not the god of soup.
Just thought I'd ask.
But from now on, that's my explanation. Speaking of god of soup, that might be another name. I'm coming up with various metal band names for myself because my new act, because nobody thinks Lake Pirate is a good idea this year.
I do.
But the other, it's happening. It's totally happening. The other idea I had was start just doing ambush impromptu metal concerts. Like just like in the middle of the mall, just fucking sneak in with my guitar and just do a metal show by myself. And I was going to be a different band every time I do it. Now, if you want to join my band, feel free to shoot me an email, gwynethpaltrowsvagina@gmail.com. But Gods of Soup, that's a good metal name.
Gods of Soup is epic.
And it'd just be like in KFC or whatever, just fucking drop my shit and have a metal show. Like it'll just be me and my computer and my guitar, but I'll fucking rock out. Because I thought it would be great if Gwar started doing just random impromptu shows. Like they just show up at your house and do a show in your living room.
That'd be amazing.
Fuck up, it's covered in fake blood, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened? Gwar just kicked in my door and played for an hour. I thought that'd be awesome. And then I'm like, well, Gwar's kind of, because Overton died and it sucks. They're not doing much. So I thought I would pick up the reins, but I'm not going to be Gwar. I'm not even going to pretend to be Gwar. So I'm going to start my own band who just kicks in your front door and does metal songs for no reason whatsoever, and then just runs away. But I'll be a different band every time. And one of those bands to look forward to is Gods of Soup. The other one is Rusted Codpiece. I like that.
Rusted Codpiece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the other one, obviously, Aluminum Falcon.
Yeah. That is a big favorite of mine.
Aluminum Falcon. I had another one. What was the other one? Oh, Cobalt Kitten. My boss wanted that. I thought, yeah, I'll go with that. Cobalt Kitten. I like that. But God of Soup, right up there. So if you have a band name for me, or if you want to be in one of my bands and do impromptu metal shows at like random places, courthouses, buses, public bathrooms, that would be hilarious. You just see a guy sit down and take a big duker and you just run in and do a metal show, scare the shit right out of him. It's nothing but good stuff can happen from this. I'm going to take the show to the streets this year, the streets of Kelowna, and do stuff that involves you people. So get forward to that. We're going to start doing some stuff out in public, start getting some public engagement because our numbers are so good right now. I want to get people excited about the show. Yes. And get other people involved so that we don't have a day where I have to sit here and talk about Soup Month for an hour.
Hey, just so you know, Mike Bishop is the new lead singer of Gwar.
There's no new singer of Gwar. They can all go to hell.
But he has been on and off with the band since 1987, Mike Bishop.
That doesn't make you particularly new. That's 30 years.
Yeah, but he's replaced.
If you've been with the band for 30 years, you're not allowed to call yourself the new singer anymore.
He's been with the band since 2 years after they started.
Yeah.
On and off.
You're not new. Just say it.
Well, they've had a lot of members. Holy shit, they've had a lot of members.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. First month of 2020, or 2021, I should say. Oh, I knew I'd fuck it up sooner or later. I had this one saved for you guys, and now I don't have it. Where is it? Here, is this it? This is not it. God damn it! I will find it. Settle down, everybody. Calm down. Top 5 rock albums of 2020 as we go into 2021. I agreed with some of these. Clint Lowry.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is. Clint Lowry. Not a clue.
No idea.
Adelitas Way? Shine
Nope.
On? No, that's stupid. Corey Taylor? Fuck you. Heat 2? This is not... Oh, this is a different list. This isn't the one I'm thinking of.
This is the list of people nobody's ever heard of or
Yeah,
cares
this is
about.
the top 5 rock albums nobody gives a fuck about. I should have finished reading the sentence there. That's not true. It's just bands I've never heard of because I'm old as shit and I don't know. Here's the one I was looking at. Number 5, Body Count featuring Ice-T. Carnivore. Haven't heard it. Didn't know. I thought 2018 was their most recent album.
Nope.
Very excited to hear this.
Yeah.
Number 4, Gigaton by Pearl Jam. You may not like it all, but you're bound to love some of it. That's not a good tagline. Who says that? Pearl
It's true,
Jam's
bro.
new album,
With
Gigaton. You might not like it all. Like that. What? Who wrote that?
An honest
fire that
musician.
guy. What do you think of your new album? We don't like it all. You got to fire that guy.
There's a
Number
couple
3,
good ones.
Seven Dust. Blood and Stone. I don't know about Seven Dust. The album cover's cool though.
I like Seven Dust.
Number 2, Ozzy Osbourne. Ordinary Man.
Do not like that new song, but God bless Ozzy for still going at it.
He can sing. The very cool thing about it was it recruited Chad Smith on the drums, Red Hot
Yep.
Chili Peppers, and Duff McKagan played bass for him.
You know, speaking of Chad Smith, by the way, did you know that on New Year's they did a show, Chad Smith on drums, the bass player from Jane's Addiction, Post Malone singing, and
Who's the bass player for Jane's Addiction?
not the original guy, it's the guy who's been playing with them for the last 20 years, but not the original bass player.
Didn't Flea play with them briefly? I thought Flea did something with them. I don't know. Doesn't
Very
matter.
briefly, yeah. And I can't remember. Oh, and no, and I can't remember who the other guy was. But they did an amazing version of Rooster by Alice in Chains.
Oh, weird.
It was so good. And then they whipped up and did a version of War Pigs with Post Malone singing. All pretty much the same. Most of the same members, but Slash joined in.
Post Malone worked on Ozzy's new album too.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to become a bit of a fan of his. My
You know
girlfriend's
what?
a huge fan.
I gotta say I don't completely hate the man, but
Yeah.
I don't know enough to say I like him yet.
I like his attitude. I like the way he talks, and what I watched of him singing Alice in Chains was incredible because he kept it kind of true to Lane Stanley's style, but with his style slightly thrown in. Because Post Malone is known for this sort of vibrato throat thing, but he used it sparingly, and it sounded really good when he did it. So I
like all the love that Alice in Chains is getting right now.
Oh, same here.
Number 5
So
metal albums of 2020, kids. Lamb of God comes in at number 5.
Love it.
Trivium, number 4, What the Dead Men Say. I've heard a song. I don't remember it.
I like
Number
Trivia.
3, Killer Be Killed. Reluctant Hero. Don't know it at all.
Nope.
Ex-Sepultura member.
Oh.
Holy shit. It's
Max
members
Cavalera.
from Max Cavalera, Mastodon bassist Troy Sanders, and Converge drummer Ben Kohler. So, fuck, that's
That's
huge.
like a super group, yeah. Shit.
Wow, I didn't realize it was a supergroup. So Killer Be Killed, check them out. That's fucking dope. It has 3 lead singers, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Number 2, Armored Saint. Don't know them either.
Oh, really? Nice.
Gonzo Phil. Holy shit. Anyway, number 1, Avatar.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Eh.
I have heard of them, unfortunately.
Nah.
It's so rare for a Swedish metal band to go mainstream that I will allow it.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
And they haven't killed anyone on stage or burned anything down, so that's cool.
That's boring.
No, I like it. Yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
That's
Very
the
well.
metal. You know what pisses me off?
Hmm.
This is just because it happens to be on the same website. The top 5 crushes of all time. Who was the biggest crush in the 1960s?
Oh fuck. Oh, hang on. What's his name from the Partridge Family?
Oh, girl.
Oh, girl.
What's her name from the Partridge Family? Oh, she was fucking hot. Susan Day was her name. Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched.
Oh yeah, she's cute.
We had the debate, me and a roommate, one time whether it was Jeannie or Elizabeth from Bewitched, and it was Jeannie. Jeannie wins. Sorry.
Well, obviously, A, her powers were better. B, she dressed way sexier, and C, she lived in a bottle.
1970s hottest woman of the decade, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Very nice. And there have some new movie thing coming out, new Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman,
show?
1984.
Yeah, is it a TV show? Or is it a movie?
No, it's a movie, and people hate it.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's not good because it's all like full of 80s kitsch.
Oh,
And the 80s weren't cool. I don't know why people keep trying to do this. Oh, we got to revisit the 80s because it's the 2000s. No, we don't. The 80s sucked in the 80s and they suck now. That's why that 80s show was terrible. The 70s show was funny because it was based on a funny decade. The 80s was a miserable fucking time. Everyone was high or miserable.
I think
you know
that's the
how
reason.
you know that? Because the biggest crush of the 1980s, every man was falling for Alyssa Milano.
She's a fucking teenager too. That's gross.
She's hot as fuck though.
Yeah, she was.
Silly. 1990s, we got in Buffy, and the biggest crush that all guys loved in the 1990s, Eliza Dushku.
Oh, Eliza Dushku. I liked her.
Yeah. She's a sexy little big thing. In the 2000s, I disagree with this, but the biggest crush of the entire fucking decade, Jessica Alba.
Yep, I'm in. I'm on board.
Boo.
Yep.
Jessica Alba can not blow me.
No, I'd be more than fine with that if she wanted to.
Yeah, she's cute. I don't think she's anything to write home about, but she's cute. But there you go. That's right from the 60s to today.
Very cool.
I don't agree with that. I agree with most of them. Just Jessica Alba, I think there's better. I'm not in a majority.
No.
Hear that. But
I
there you
just
go.
yeah.
So that's pretty much all I have. I'm not going to drag this show out too long because it's just now people looking for random crap, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to look up
2 things I just want to very quickly mention.
Please do.
So, so you've got England is now under a new COVID lockdown because of this new, more contagious variant of the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's been spreading all through the holidays.
So you got that, but here's what's even funnier. South Africa COVID variant is more infectious than the UK strain.
It is. I got a private message on Facebook from someone from South Africa telling me what's going on there.
Yeah.
And that while my views are not far from the truth, I should kind of watch when I say that it's not bad and it's not killing people. He is in South Africa and he wrote to me and he very much says it's very bad. I'm going to try to find it for you guys because it's actually really interesting. Some guy just called me a crime against humanity because my message is insane and dangerous.
Why? We're not saying it doesn't exist. We're just saying the numbers
My
are flawed.
message is go look at the numbers for yourself. How is that insane and dangerous? Anyway, I want to try to find this letter for you guys.
Oh, I hope you do. That'd be great. I just pretty much would just like to put on the record that let's face it, South Africa, you don't got a good track record for any outbreaks. So
True.
Fuck you with your saying that COVID is so fucking horrible. No. You motherfuckers still got fucking Ebola. So get the fuck out of here.
No, Ebola is only in the Congo.
Is it only the Congo?
It is only in the Congo.
Fuck them anyway.
I'm just going to answer this guy really quickly. Sorry, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling your friends. My buddies in India, I love you to death. I'm going to get someone to come fix all your ceilings.
That was so good. I didn't hear that coming.
Love you guys all. You know what? I'll do this letter. I don't want to bore you guys while I look for it. I'll do it on tomorrow's episode. Following a known to be corrupt government. Sorry, writing a letter. Anyway, kids. Gord, did you have one more?
Just one thing, which I'm assuming this is going to end up being some pretty big fucking news. It's already starting to really climb up the radar for everybody. Saudi Arabia has opened its airspace, land, and sea border, which is their way of resolving the big dispute with Qatar.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you're solving that.
Up. No, probably not. But yeah, they said that at least they're trying to resolve the political dispute between them, and that is pretty fucking big news considering Saudi Arabia doesn't fucking like them, so that's pretty big.
I'm ending this comment. Yeah, it is big. Israel's gonna fuck them both up now. Sorry.
Yep.
End this letter, this comment to this guy with the same comment I've ended every comment on Facebook, and I'm probably going to start ending the show with, and that is, I expect an apology when I'm proven right from all of you. I expect you all to write me an apology.
Absolutely.
I am so sick of being called insane and dangerous, and you're what's wrong with this planet. You all owe me an apology.
Yep.
When it comes out. Let me see if I can find this letter now since we're sitting here. I don't know. We got to end the show. Ending the show.
While you're looking for that, do you know one of the things that happened this year?
No. Well, yeah, I know lots of things that happened this year. But...
Well, this is one of the big things that happened this year that doesn't involve COVID. In May of this year, this is when that little fucking 5-year-old boy had stolen his parents' SUV.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Driven down the highway, said he was on his way to California to buy a Lamborghini that he had, and he had $13 in his pocket.
Good on him. Did he get his Lamborghini, I wonder?
Not yet, no.
No, probably not.
I just love the fact that he was pulled over because a trooper pulled the SUV over. It was going 51 kilometers an hour and drifting across lanes. And he's like, fuck, babe, this guy's either drunk or has a medical emergency. So he pulls over with a 5-year-old perched on the edge of the driver's seat.
And he was drunk and had a medical emergency. That was the weird part.
It was a very strange thing. Nobody saw that coming.
First case of COVID.
Right there.
He was the first COVID case. Where the fuck is this thing? I can't find it.
The title of that article, by the way, was "On the Lambo."
That's good stuff.
He wanted to buy a Lambo.
It's good that's the kind of stuff that the media is focused on.
It's just funny.
Where is this? I can't find. Of course, now I can't find this one dude's letter. But it was just he's from South Africa, and he just said like there's lots of people in South Africa dying, or at least getting sick. He didn't say dying. He said there's a lot of people getting sick. He doesn't know how many are dying. Not many apparently, but a lot of people are getting very sick. And he just told me like, hey, just so you know, people are getting sick down here in South Africa. And I was like, dude, why are you in a Kelowna fucking group? But
yeah, why are you in a Kelowna chat room? What the hell?
It's cool. I'm glad. I appreciate the letter. It was very polite, which I like. I like a polite argument. If you want to argue with me and Dave, what the fuck? I'm reading David. Me and Gord, we argue all the time. That's all we do is argue. We don't agree on anything. Just so you guys know, it's like Eric. The show could be called Eric and Gord. We don't fucking like each other. But it's not. It's what if we're right. It's better, it's catchier. But we don't agree on anything, but we argue in an intelligent way and we're respectful of each other. And that's all I ask from the rest of you. You want to argue with me? Great. I love it. Bring it on. But not calling me names and talking about my daughter and shit.
Yeah,
That doesn't get a good reaction from me.
No, and it shows the person's complete and total lack of intelligence.
So this guy wrote me, I'll find it for you guys for tomorrow. I don't want to keep looking, but he wrote a nice post, and it was disagreeing with me, but in a nice way. And that's totally different.
That is. It's very cool.
So do that. Start being nice to each other, you goddamn freaks. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just like you say, oh, wear a mask. It's the easiest thing in the world. No, it's not. Second easiest thing in the world. Easiest thing in the world, be fucking nice to each other.
That's it.
Oh, Rayan Slim. Here we go.
Find it?
I did.
Nice.
Somewhere.
Fuck.
So here you guys go. We're going to end the show on this. This is a letter from Rayan Slim of South Africa. I think your mistake, sir, may have been to use read for yourselves or think for yourselves, which are the cries of conspiracy theorists. I'm afraid of the virus, despite great odds of being unharmed. I see things that don't make sense. I'm in South Africa. We have 1 million cases and growing fast. That's the number that screws up the perspective. The people most concerned with symptoms, and only a fraction of them are given tests. The super fast spreading, super contagious virus has likely infected 3 or 4 times that number of people here. Millions and millions and millions of people. Last I checked, we had something under 30,000 deaths. It's unlikely that there's hidden deaths. There's obviously fake cases. The rate of death should go to fuck all if there's fake cases, right? Okay. There's still a problem that the deaths are usually a small portion of a much bigger number of people overwhelming hospital resources. If the virus gets out of control there as it is here, it's not a lie. It will overwhelm hospitals. It has done so here. Not all hospitals, but in hotspots. We're not being lied to about that. The virus spreads so fast, it applies to the potential of overwhelming hospitals there too. But that's not something people like to talk about. Non-COVID urgent care is not suffering. That's not how it works. Doctors and nurses are exhausted. There's likely a drop in standards, but COVID is not taking away beds from other wards because the doctors have to be quarantined. So they've got certain doctors in the COVID ward that are quarantined with them and they don't come out. So other doctors are still doing all their jobs. COVID patients can only be treated in that one area. So they're not overwhelming the hospital. They're in one fucking area by themselves. The question is, how does overwhelmed hospitals and 30,000 deaths impact a country to justify the halt of freedoms and livelihoods? I don't know. I suspect something isn't right about this strategy. The damage to the economy, morale, and the cost of relief is surely more than building several stadium-sized treatment centers like they did in China. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or an economist, but there must be a middle road. You are right. Many are right. Things don't add up or feel right. But we have to obey out of respect for each other and because we're not the ones elected to make the decisions. Well, that's your fault, not mine. We can spend our lives dedicated to science and be heard and deemed credible. We can spend our lives in politics and help with these decisions. Anything else, we just discuss on Facebook and argue about it. That's very cool. You're right. I am trying to get involved in politics, and thank you for that. So, yeah, I tried. And no, I did very well. And then I got very sick with another virus. Not COVID related. But yeah, so there he says, even in his country where millions of people are getting this thing, at least 1 million people have it, 30,000 dead, maybe.
So 1.1 million people have reported cases and 29,577 have reported deaths.
Yeah. And he says that the number, nobody's being tested there. So the number is probably closer to 3 or 4 million that have it.
And
He
that's
is one of the
still,
ones
even if you're
that-
at 3 million, you're still looking at only less than 30,000 deaths out of 3 million people. That's still a small
Exactly.
number.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that they don't add up.
And there's one other thing to keep in mind. The most single deaths in a day was July 22nd with 572 deaths in a single day.
And was that in China?
No, that's in South Africa.
Oh, and so that July 22nd.
July 22nd.
That's 6 months ago. Who cares?
That's right. When the closest they've had was December 29th, they had 497. So still not, you're still almost 100 deaths of a single day away from being their worst day they've ever had. And they're on a downslope from that number as we speak. So,
yeah.
So no, it's not that bad there. Sorry. A lot of people might have it. Not that many are fucking dying from it. So considering how many people fucking probably die from that country on a daily basis as it is normally, I don't think you're worrying too much about it.
Someone's challenging me. Anyway, kids, until tomorrow night. Are we doing this tomorrow night?
I believe so.
Awesome. We are doing this tomorrow night, and it's going to be fun, crazy facts all through history, because that's the point of the show now. Unless there's something cool. We'll talk about the Nashville bombing a little bit more, because I totally forgot that even happened.
Along with everybody else.
We will talk about some really fun stuff. This is a good episode. I had fun. I want to keep it up for the week. Love you guys. Till tomorrow night. Take care of each other.
See ya, fuck nuts.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.